Coach Oats make his opening statement, and then we'll take questions for both Coach and Jahvon when we're ready. So, Coach, at this time, you can make your opening statement.
I thought Georgia really came ready to play. I thought at the start of the game they were a lot more ready than we were. So give a lot of credit to Coach Crean, his staff, and those players for coming like they did. I thought our guys didn't play a particularly great first 10 minutes or so. Whatever point it was, 29-15. There was 8 minutes to go in the game, first half. I thought from that point on we really picked it up. So first 12 minutes didn't go well. Last 8 of the first half, and the start of the second half, I think we finished on a 15-7 run, started the second half on a 15-2 run. So 30-9 turned a 14-point deficit into a 7-point lead. So that was good. We just can't afford in Nashville to come out like we did tonight. So, JQ didn't have a particularly great first half. I thought he was dynamite in the second half. I mean, he had 18 points and a half, which he's more than capable of. We thought they had a real hard time keeping him out of the lane. He played great. Herb's foul trouble kind of limited his minutes there in the first half. I thought the way he started the second half, just giving us some energy and being super aggressive on offense, getting downhill, finishing at the rim. I thought he kind of imposed his will on the game there. And then, I also want to give credit to some guys that when Darius Miles comes in the game and, we kind of make a run there in the first half, kind of get some energy. Jordan Bruner's a guy that's been battling injuries. We haven't said much, but when he was out with his first knee injury, he was ready to come back in like 2 weeks, worked his tail off, and he ended up hurting his other knee. That's why it took almost 6 weeks. He ended up having surgery on both knees. So for him to have surgery on both knees, fight back, do everything he could to come back, help his team, he ended the game plus 18 in 15 minutes he played. And he was huge in that run in the first half. He was big for us, both halves really. So there's some credit goes to some guys that maybe haven't gotten as much notoriety as maybe they had. So I think this is a team that just pulls for each other. We went small with Bruner Reese. I thought Reese gave us some good minutes there in the second half. Too, Bruner, Reese, Rojas, and Jahvon were really all out. We played Herb at the 5, and we're switching everything, and all 4 of those guys were just all about us winning the game. So, to go 16-2, best record. I think we tied for the best record in SEC history at Alabama. Shows a lot about what this team's made of. So proud of the guys. We got to get back playing better, more like the second half, than the first half going into Nashville. Hopefully that first game Friday morning.
Thank you, Coach. As a reminder, just use the raise hand function, and we'll get your question. Let's go ahead and start with Tony Tsoukalas.
Nate, just what was that message at halftime? It seemed like you guys had built up a little bit of momentum heading into the break, but what was that message to come out so hot in the second half?
Told them to make shots, I guess. I mean, I told them great into the half. The last 8 minutes was great. We got to play like those 8 minutes instead of the first 12. We come out and play like those 8. Score will take care of itself. And the other thing you see when you play hard and you're focused and locked in like we were the last 8 minutes of the first half and the second half, then everything goes a lot better on offense too. We went 8 for 10 from 3 because you're just locked in, playing hard, and you take good shots. Our points per possession went from like a 0.7 to a 1.4 from the first half to the second half. So if we just get locked in, you're worried about the right things and playing hard. Even, Jahvon, I thought defensive intensity really picked up in the second half, and then his offense followed. So I thought everybody's just intensity level rose. That's what we told them. Let's just play like we did for that last 8 minutes. That looks a lot more like Alabama basketball than the first 12, and the score will take care of itself.
Cecil Hurt, you're next.
For Jahvon and for Coach, in order to win, you did have to overcome a lot of turnovers. Was that just lack of concentration early? Was it just the pace of play? What caused that?
I think just, like Coach said, just not coming out ready to play 100%. Just some bonehead mistakes in the beginning of the game, just being careless with the ball. And, I feel like in the second half, we took better care of the ball, and we got the ball moving around a little bit more, and obviously our offense took care of itself. So
Yeah, I thought guys weren't ready to play, and it shows up on defense and offense both. And I mean, 22 turnovers a lot. So to score 89 points in a game where you have 22 turnovers means when you weren't turning the ball over, we were pretty good, pretty efficient. So if we get those turnovers cut down, I think we'll get our offense back to where we need it to be.
Tyler Martin.
Yeah, this one's for Coach. You talked about coming into this game, you needed to see more rhythm from your offense, been kind of stagnant over the last few weeks, but just how comforting and how much confidence does your offense have now after a second half like that and kind of using this as a launch pad into Nashville next week?
I hope the second half offense and defense carries right over to a full game in Nashville. That's what I told our team. I just, we looked like we feel we can play in the second half. The ball's moving around. We were making shots. We still had too many turnovers in the second half. We had 11 in each half, but we were making shots. I think you make shots at a higher clip when you're just locked into the right stuff, guarding, worrying about that. That's it. I mean, you worry about guarding and playing the right way, then the offense kind of takes care of itself. And it's got really talented players. JQ's maybe the most talented guard in the league. When you put everything together, knocking down threes, getting the ball in the lane, finishing assists. I think when he's just locked into guarding people and letting the offense flow, he's really good. Herb's the same way. Thought Petty had a great night tonight. He had 15 points. I thought he really was locked into the right stuff there, especially the second half. He's the one guy that came out, gave us a boost in the first half, or we'd have been in some serious trouble in the first half if Petty hadn't played like he did early. But
we got time for a couple more questions. We'll start with Steve Moulton.
Coach, congrats on the win. I thought it was a bold strategy there to go down by 14 and then being fueled, especially by your defense. But I was hoping you could speak specifically to your defense, getting you back with that run right before halftime, Coach.
Yeah, I think that's what we have to hang our hat on is the defensive side of the ball. The offense, the shots may drop, may not drop. They dropped in the second half. You got to do a better job of the turnovers. But the one thing that can be constant is the defensive effort. And it was there for about 28 minutes. So, you look at what the score was, to win the game by 10. So for 28 minutes of the game, you outscore them by 24 because you're down 14 in the first 8. I think that's a lot more how we play. But again, we got to come out and play better at the tip on Friday.
Last question, Clayton Connor.
All right, Coach. At Mississippi State, Rojas hit that corner three near the end, and then today, Keon Ellis hit that big three. How big is it having guys like that coming off the bench that can hit clutch shots like that?
That three was huge. What was it? 3 points at the time when he hit it?
Yeah.
It was 3. Push it to 6. That was off your assist, right? Yeah, I mean, to have guys you can put on the floor that don't start. I mean, look, Keon hit the big 3. He had 9. Quinerly had 18. You look at our bench, we ended up with 33 points off the bench. Rojas, Quinerly, Jahvon Gary, Keon Ellis. And I told you guys at the beginning of the year, we're not necessarily starting our most talented 5 players. That's not how I've ever really operated. But it does help to have guys that, that come off the bench and play great, like Keon Ellis, Quinerly, Jahvon, Rowe, Reese has been good. So we got a pretty deep team. Darius Miles was great tonight, so it was good.
All right, we do have one more question. We're going to finish with Cecil Hurt here.
For Coach, it'll either be Kentucky or Mississippi State on Friday. When do you start preparing for that, and what's your schedule for the next couple of days?
So we don't play till Friday. So we're going to give them tomorrow off. They're going to come in with the trainer, get some treatment, try to get their bodies right. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we practice here, and then we go up to Nashville. And those days, particularly Monday, Tuesday, will be a lot more about ourselves. We'll sit down and see what those two teams, we played Mississippi State a lot more recently. see what they're doing different than the last times we played them. You know, probably particularly Kentucky because it's been a little while since we played them. If we need to do some stuff in practice to prep, we will. But we really got to be about us taking care of the ball, us getting ourselves right, and then we won't know till the night before. So we'll have the Mississippi State scout and the Kentucky scout both in. We'll probably take one day, maybe a Tuesday, Mississippi State, Wednesday, Kentucky, or vice versa. And then Thursday, kind of do a little of both. And then Friday, watch them play, or Thursday, watch them play. Friday, we're in the game. So it's probably what we've done in the past, when I've been at in the MAC at Buffalo when we've had buys like this. Last year we didn't have the buy. So we knew who we were playing, leading in the whole time.